Hello everyone, it's me Jessie with Pampered Chef, bringing you all things fun and foodie from right here in my kitchen. Today I wanted to make the tomato basil tart with whipped mozzarella. It just sounded so delicious, and if you don't know, I am obsessed with margarita pizza, so this just seemed like a twist on a margarita pizza, and yeah, we're gonna make it. So it all starts with a container of just pizza crust, any kind. I bought the Walmart brand, and I have my 12 ounce, I'm gonna turn this camera down a little bit so you can see my 12 inch cast iron pan. And I just drizzled the bottom with about a tablespoon of oil. And we're gonna put this pizza crust into the bottom of the pan and spread it out so that it covers all of the bottom. And if you have a little left over for a lip, we're going to fold that down so that it makes a pretty edge. Kind of like this. If there's a hole, just squish it together. This dough is very, very forgiving. All right, so now we're going to dock it with a fork because we don't want it to get too puffy in the middle. If it does get puffy, we're just gonna push it back down. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of fork holes, and then we're gonna drizzle it with a little bit more olive oil. And I'm going to sprinkle Italian seasoning all over this. Guess what? I need to open it. Oh my goodness, that would help. Brand new. Oh, I love the smell of this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna sprinkle it with Italian seasoning. Now you could just use dried basil if you wanted, our basil rub, or the herbes de Provence would be really good as a little bit different twist. And then instead of fresh garlic or garlic powder, I'm using our garlic seasoning. 1 teaspoon of this is equivalent to a clove of garlic. So put that all over. Now you could put Parmesan cheese on here if you wanted to make it extra cheesy. Different herbs, like I said, but I'm just gonna stick with the Italian herbs and the garlic. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my tomatoes. I just have some grape tomatoes here. And I don't have the 2 cups that's required in the recipe, but it's fine. Remember, recipes are guides. So you tweak them to fit what you want or what you have. So I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning to that, and I should have left it open. The garlic. And I'm just gonna shake it around so that everything is coated. Now I have my oven heated to 425 degrees. I am going to put this on the tray that's as close to the top of the oven as I can. And I'm going to put this in the bottom of the oven on the bottom rack as close to the bottom as I can. And I'm gonna let that cook for between 17 and 20 minutes. We want these tomatoes to get caramelized. We want them to get a little soft. We want them to get very, very sweet and cooked down. And then we want the crust to get nice and crunchy and brown. So everything will come together after this cooks. I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and then we're going to make the whipped basil mozzarella. Doesn't that sound good? Okay, so everything is done. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous crust. It smells amazing. I wanted to show you how yummy the bottom got without burning myself. You can see that it's nice and toasty and yummy and crispy. So we are going to do the rest of this. We are going to take our delicious whipped mozzarella, and I want to get every bit out of here that I possibly can because this stuff is so good. And I'm going to plop it in the center of this and spread it out over the top. All right, the rest of that will be eaten by me later. So I'm gonna just spread it out. Now I did take this out about 3 minutes ago so that it had a few minutes to kind of cool a bit. The cast iron will stay hot for a long time, but I just wanted to take a little of the heat off so that the mozzarella would spread very easily, but not melt. Okay, so that looks really good. Get it out to that beautiful edge. I want to leave the golden crust so that we can all see that. So remember, we eat with our eyes. Now I have the tomatoes staying warm in the oven. Now I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't love the gush of a tomato. So the ones that did not pop on their own, I pushed them down so that they would get all squished and they would not explode in my mouth because I don't like that. But I do like it when they're all cooked down and caramelized like this. Even just to take tomatoes that are cooked like this and toss them with some like cheese tortellini and basil is so delicious. All right, so I'm kind of gonna toss these on here haphazardly. I don't want to cover up all of that gorgeous whipped mozzarella. Looks good, and look how nice that pan came clean. And the last little bit is some torn fresh basil. Now I'm not cutting it, I'm just kind of tearing it off. These are big leaves of basil, so if you had smaller leaves, you could totally just put the smaller leaves on top, but I had some big basil going on. So just the torn leaves, and then the original recipe has lemon juice, which would be amazing, but I think that there's something very special about basil and balsamic vinegar and mozzarella. It's just a wonderful combination. So I have a little bit of balsamic vinegar here. Now, if you don't have expensive balsamic vinegar, like I don't have expensive balsamic vinegar, but you want that like super sweet glazy finish, there's two things you can do. One, you can put your balsamic vinegar in a pan and you can bring it up to a boil and cook it down. It does go pretty quick, so make sure you're watching it because it will burn if you cook it too far down because there is sugar in there that will caramelize. Or the second option is what I did today, is just take a couple tablespoons of honey and do equal parts honey and balsamic vinegar, and that kind of sweetens it up a little bit and thickens it as well. So I'm just gonna do a little drizzle, couple little splashes, and then we are done. Look at that. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I will post the recipe so you can make this too. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.